So here we are in beautiful Sardinia. In the background we have Olbia. You can see the ferries, the Moby ferries. Mountains in the background as well.
Cycle. We left Pisa, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, 27th of October it was.
Because we got to Pisa too soon because we're waiting for family to come out. So we thought instead of wasting time, we'd come and do a 2-week cycling tour of Sardinia like you do. And
we was originally going to go to Elba, the small island of Elba, but again we thought 2 weeks, we got...
Yeah.
We want to go and look at some more islands, so we'll go to Sardinia.
So we got the ferry from Livorno over to Olbia, and that's where we started our tour of Sardinia. And a great tour it was, very tough.
Very tough. So we're going to share with you some of our highlights from Sardinia, starting in Livorno before we got the ferry. So it never stops eating.
No, you're supposed to have.
This is only done 4 mile and I've stopped 15 times. Banana, yogurt, crisps, Kit Kat, Mars bar, Snickers, Maltesers.
Yep,
all that she's had in the space of 30 minutes. So first thing we did when we got to Livorno was we went to a fantastic pizza restaurant called LA Pizza.
Best pizza
Best
ever.
pizza ever.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we boarded the ferry about 9 o'clock because it was a 10 p.m. sail
through the night.
So we no hassle, straight onto the ferry and got our bikes all tied up.
10-hour crossing got us into Olbia for about
7 in the morning. We've got off the ferry and we arrived in Olbia, Sardinia, for day 1 of our tour. And our first place we're cycling to is Palau.
Yeah, Palau, which is it's just under 50 kilometres with an elevation of about 440 metres. So that's quite a tough climb for day 1. Welcome to Sardinia. We're going up there.
No, we're not.
We are.
No, we're not. Ah! I'll drop down the beach. Look at this beach.
So first day cycling in Sardinia, one of the funniest things we've come across is the animals. All the animals go backwards.
I have an orange. Stretch my legs out. We got to Palau and we found a great wild camping spot just on the coast, and we had a little visitor that stayed with us for the night.
Seems you've got a friend.
Oh, cat, they won't leave me alone. Look at picture Doug Buzz Buzz. Yeah, as you can see, we have a new travelling companion. I won't get off my bike and I'm trying to pack my bags. And it's making him, she or he, making it so cosy. Stayed with us last night. Obviously we've given it milk, so it's not a levers, is it? Yeah, cheeky puss puss. Going for a little ride.
And what a great place to go for your evening swim, or shower should I say.
Yeah, in the sea.
So first day cycling to Palau was a tough day to say the least. It was just climb after climb after climb. To be honest, never really expected Sardinia to be so mountainous, because we actually chose the route we chose was the flatter route really, but still mountain after mountain.
Day 2 we cycled from Palau to a place called Rene Major.
Yeah, and it was
that's right.
Again, yeah, another extremely tough day. It's only a 30-kilometre route, but it was 373 metres to be exact, and didn't we feel it every single metre of it.
There's actually a storm brewing, our first storm we experienced in Italy. It was really windy on the bikes, quite dangerous, we're getting blown everywhere. We had to stop and shelter.
And here we have it again, just like before, the sheep walking backwards, you know, evidence again. Cows walking backwards. What next? We had to take shelter for the night in a forest because the weather we just got from bad to worse, didn't it? It was
so windy, wasn't it? We went down to the beach to find somewhere to camp, but
no
it
chance.
was just
you had
just
80-mile-an-hour winds
that
day.
We couldn't stand up even with the weight of the bike.
My bike was blown over, broke my bike stand.
Too dangerous.
Even me poor little stick that I used to use to stand my bike
you broke
with.
three things.
Three things,
Right.
and anyway, luckily we found a forest and took shelter.
Just getting aggressive there. And knocking me out with a tree. Woo! What's in there? What's in there?
So due to the weather being so bad, which was over a couple of days, we decided to stay in the forest, didn't we? And just had some bit of fun in the forest. It was because Halloween was only a couple of days away. We thought, let's make a little Halloween movie.
Like you do.
And we called it the Sardinian Psycho. I'm sure some of you have already seen it. And so we'd like to share with you our filming that day.
How we made it.
Each scene, step by step, because wow, we could get a job in Hollywood, couldn't we? You know, how professional are we? So here we have scene 1, which is both me and Gabriella running away from the Sardinian Psycho in the forest.
We were like little kids, had a great time. Loved it. I loved running around the forest, being dragged through the mud.
Here we have scene 2, where I'm running for my life and I trip over a log, and that's where I get caught by the Sardinian psycho. Oh no!
Great acting skills on that one. Tripping over the log.
Here we have scene 3. The Sardinian psycho has tied me to a tree.
I enjoyed myself tying Chris to the tree.
And here we have scene 4, which is the psycho himself, looking all scary in his designer.
Credit to the wardrobe department there,
Yeah, in
I
his
thought.
montane raincoat.
Just make sure you don't hit a tree and bounce on your back at you. Where are you lobbing it? I wasn't rolling.
Here's scene number 5 with Gabriella running for her life. Oh no, she trips over and she's caught by the Sardinian psycho.
Oscar award for me there, for my tripping up.
And scene 6 brings us to the psycho dragging Gabriella into the bushes. Is it the last we see of her? Scene number 7, she's tied to the tree. I had great pleasure doing that one.
Again, credit to the makeup department. What did we have? Tomato sauce on us?
Yeah, that was tomato
Tin of
sauce.
tomato.
Finest Italian tin
Yeah,
tomatoes.
tin tomato. And mud.
Okay, and then maybe do a bit of a scream then now. So there you have it. That was us. That was us acting out our scenes for the Sardinian Psycho, our Halloween special. So here's the finished product. Hope you enjoy.
finding somewhere to wild camp in the evening isn't always that easy.
Especially the location. You just have to sometimes wherever, innit?
Yeah.
And it's getting your bikes.
It looks like you can wild camp, but then when it comes to it, trying to get your bike down into the bushes or down where you can't be seen is sometimes a lot difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. And I like to try and film these little locations where it's difficult. So of course I've then got to run all the way back down the hill for the camera.
Day 3 brings us from Rene Major to
Isla Rossa. Isla Rossa. Another tough day cycling at 43 kilometres.
More mountains.
577 metres to be exact of elevation. Yeah, so once again the day was getting late. We had to we dropped down into the village to find somewhere to camp. We ended up in just down some side street on the coast, didn't we?
Yeah.
Some just dirty, muddy trail, really.
We had to make the decision. We either carry on up the mountain and don't know if we could find somewhere, or we drop down into the village where we knew we could get on the coast, but then we had a big climb out in the morning. So we decided to drop down to the coast for the big climb in the morning.
And then we were hit with our second storm on Sardinia with severe rains and winds again.
Had to make sure the tent was properly secure and tied down. Day 4, we leave Isla Rossa to make our way to
Lubagnu, however you pronounce it again.
Lubagnu.
Yeah, it was 36 kilometre ride that day, 506 metres of climbing, so harder again.
And the climb out of Isla was shocking.
Shocking, yeah, especially first ride of the day.
Yeah.
Legs aren't even warmed up, it was a killer.
So steep, and it just went on and on and on and on. As we were cycling around the mountain pass, there was all people in high-vis jackets scattered in the mountains and on the roadside, all making funny noises, and it was a dog race, wasn't it?
Dogs racing them up the mountains through the valleys.
And it was going on all over the valley. It was quite interesting to watch.
Every now and again we'd come through a tunnel going through the mountain, which was quite a relief because it meant we didn't have to cycle over the mountain.
But I don't like cycling through tunnels for some reason. I think I panic and then I start wobbling all over the road because it's dark and I just want to get out the other end quickly. We had to find somewhere to camp again. We saw a gap in the crash barrier, so we pushed our bike through, hid in the bushes thinking we couldn't be seen, but we had a little surprise when we'd set up camp. We had a visit from the police.
Yeah, but very nice were they too. Someone had reported us, hadn't they, because they'd seen lights from the tent.
And they didn't arrest me for being in my dressing gown.
No, but they were very nice. Really lovely policeman.
Day 5, we head to a place called Porto Torres.
Yep, and a shorter ride, 37 kilometres with only 198 metres of elevation. Alright.
Just hold it, I'll get my bag.
Where's your bag? Why do you take it off?
Always have to say, don't you? Oh, keep your mouth. Right, well done or anything.
Well, it's symmetrical, your bike. That's what I'm saying.
When I went through last time, I was in the bushes.
Yeah.
This time I was on this side.
Well, why didn't you go on the other side?
Because I can't push my bike the other side.
Thanks.
Very wet and windy day today as we make our way to Porto Torres.
Yep. The rain hasn't stopped all day.
At least we've got good waterproofs. Great day today, just a little bit wet.
So I don't know if it's all this mountain air that sends us a little bit loopy at times, but we do like to just entertain ourselves and sometimes share it with you by making little videos. And this was just one that it was just a bit of a tongue twister about the pheasant plucker. So yeah, we just get off our bikes.
Spur of the moment thing.
And there's sometimes people stood watching us thinking, what are they doing? So yeah, but it amuses us.
But we enjoy ourselves.
It gets us through the day. And here's our little pheasant plucker video. Go on.
I'm not a pheasant plucker, I'm a pheasant plucker's mate.
I am only plucking pheasants because the pheasant plucker's late.
I'm only plucking pheasants because the pheasant plucker's late.
Time was getting on and we really needed to find somewhere to camp. Again, we couldn't find anywhere, so we pushed our bikes off the road, down dirt tracks into a farmer's really muddy field.
Farmhouse right there. But there's no tractor tracks or anything, so he's not being here. But we're gonna have to be careful with lights. And your high vis jacket.
Oh, it's so shit. It comes. I'll strip it off.
Eh? You know, put a green top on. Up at 6 o'clock this morning. Gabriella's just packing the tent away.
A very wet tent. Absolutely soaked.
We didn't quite know where we would be camped last night. We came down that track over there and had to stick our tent in this field. And as you can see, it's a bit muddy.
My boots are nice and muddy. Just scope that up in a minute. Everything's a bit damp and wet. We're up really early for us anyway, 6, half 6, because we need to get out of the field because we're in the farmer's field, but we couldn't ask permission last night because it was too late, it was dark, farmhouse is miles away, so we just had to put our tent up random anywhere. I think this is our worst camping spot we've ever had. We had beautiful views, scenery all day long, sod's law when you need to camp. We couldn't find anywhere to camp. There's a beautiful beach, but that was too soon in the day to unpack. So we've ended up here. So hopefully tonight we'll find a better place. Not in the mud.
Say hello.
For God's sake.
Come on, say hello.
I don't want to say hello. Hands are cold, wet, damp. Now starts the challenge. It's winter. Muddy boots. Oh, look at my hair! I will fight on.
So this is the first the coldest of mornings we've had so far, isn't it? So it's getting cold and wet now.
And this is where
And we need to...
what are we doing?
And the reason we're up so early is because we can hear the farmer coming. So we need to shift. You can't always ask permission to put your tent in a field in the middle of the night when the farmhouse is miles away. So it's got to be done.
Day 6 from Porto Torres, we made our way to a place called Plagio.
Plagio. 40 kilometres cycling with 500 metres of climbing. One of the worst days yet, isn't it?
I think I had a few moments on this day.
Brushing your teeth at the side of the busy road. Finally make it to Plagio, which was the end of the road that day, quite literally the end of the road, because our route took us to a big sign saying a motorway. Wasn't on, didn't show you that on the maps,
no.
Did it? So we couldn't actually go any further, so we did actually have
we were trapped.
Yeah, we were trapped in the mountains.
Couldn't get on
in
the
a little
road.
place called Plagio. So we managed to find a farm, because we just needed to camp for the night, didn't we? We couldn't cycle anymore because we were basically knackered.
The first farmhouse we saw, well, the only one, and we went up the drive to ask if we could put our tent on
Which
their
had
land.
many barking dogs. And
4.
what we've noticed in Sardinia is a lot of because there's so much sheep, like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the main thing in Sardinia is sheep's cheese. There's sheep everywhere. It's the main thing.
Yeah, and everyone has sheep.
Sheep and cork and wine. They're the 3 main products, really. But when you see the sheep in the fields, there's always white dogs, isn't there? Barking dogs.
Yeah, a couple of white dogs.
So we can only assume that these dogs are there for protection of the sheep from maybe foxes,
and they
wolves.
have the white dogs because they do look like sheep,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they come running over to you, barking like mad.
And we've learned
Yeah.
not to always put our tent up in a field
Where
with
you know the sheep.
because you've got to remember that there's
know
a
there's a
wild,
dog.
crazy dog
Yeah.
going to come for you. And this
We learned that very soon.
Yeah. And obviously on this farm where we camped, it's a
have
sheep
4.
farm, and they've got loads of mental dogs.
Big
really.
dogs up here.
Yeah, they've been running them, haven't they? Yeah. Their bark is worse than their bite. Oi! Oi! Come on, then. Come on! Woof, woof. Woof, woof. Woof. Woof.
So we stayed the night with this lovely, traditional, typical Sardinian family.
Invited us into
Invited
their
us in
house.
for pasta, homemade tiramisu. It was lovely. Traditional Italian homemade food.
Handmade pasta. Handmade pasta. Looks very good.
So we were joined in the kitchen with Piera, the daughter, Babina, the mother, the dad, can't remember his name, the son, and also the family friend.
Yeah, they were extremely friendly, but there was no... We don't really speak Italian, they don't speak any English, so we use good old Google Translate. So,
and we didn't want to leave, we wanted to stay and live with them and work on the farm. It was so sad to say goodbye, even though we'd only spent a night with them.
But we got an insight into a typical working Sardinian family in their home, and it's everything's very basic, but they're just so... They're so
generous.
Yeah, they gave
so
us
family oriented.
Sheep's cheese, their own sheep's cheese that they made.
Yeah, the wine.
Tiramisu. Can't get enough tiramisu.
The best tiramisu ever. Yeah, we wanted her to take us in as her son and daughter.
Yeah, fantastic experience. Our best experience.
We would come back
Sardinia.
and visit that family again.
Absolutely. And that is a big jug of wine. No, she doesn't drink. No. You said you don't want to drink, do you? That's very nice. This is some nice homemade pasta.
English.
Yeah. Little. Handmade cakes.
Nice.
Look at that. So we are here somewhere in Sardinia, and we needed to stop for the night.
Piera.
And we are here with the lovely
Piera and Pepina and Gabriella.
Mother and daughter, and this is Gabriella.
And they've given us lovely coffee, fruit, homemade pasta.
Homemade pasta, though. Look at that. And we've already had.
Us stay in the garden.
Yeah, garden. It's a farm. So we're in the field. We've had some lovely cheese.
And wine. Chris has had lots of wine.
I'm just drinking some wine. Yeah. Here's the barking dogs again. Only one. Good morning. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. I'll put my bike here. Oh, good. See. Now she's walking. Ugh. Heavy. Ah, ciao, ciao.
Today we cycle.
There you go.
Hello. No station.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
We have a
new route.
new route. We have a new.
Lontano. 100 chilometri, non arrivi.
We go, yeah. 100. 100. Yeah, tiramisu.
Oh, sorry.
Looks like tiramisu. The famous tiramisu. Tiramisu. Is that?
Can you write your name?
Nome.
Yeah, family name.
Piera, Peppina,
And the
scrivo. Indirizzo. L'indirizzo.
Is that tiramisu? Tiramisu?
Sì.
See, yeah, homemade tiramisu.
he was a vino.
No. Grazie.
All night, good vino. Vino, good vino. Good. The best.
Tieni.
Absolutely gorgeous, homemade
Tiramisu.
tiramisu. Bellissimo.
Buono.
Yeah.
Buono.
Gorgeous. The best.
So we're here this morning having breakfast, which is tiramisu and espresso.
Aggiungo.
No, it's okay.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Ooh, thank you. Blow my head off.
Oh, thank you. Grazie.
Nice, smells nice.
Buono.
Alright. Oh, it's not translated.
English, just spoke the arrows over.
Well, that's meant to be English. Italian to English. When do we arrive in Olbo, I think?
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
3 ore.
3 days. Today, tomorrow, day after. 3.
Che dire? 3 giorni. Hanno cambiato di rotta.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah.
3.
3 giorni per arrivare a Olbia.
Yeah.
E dove andate? Dove passate? Dove andate? Stai attenta, È caldo.
No, thank you. I'll have a cake.
And these are all these nice
Always
cakes
have a
again.
cake. Homemade.
Oh,
New
that.
ones.
New ones.
We'll go this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Where are you going?
Prima di arrivare a
Where
Olbia.
are we going? Pisa. Ciao.
So, we're having nice
Salute.
espresso, we have tiramisu,
And lovely homemade biscuit.
and look at all those. More, what do you say, spoils. Spoiling us.
She's got to give us some to take.
No, vesti su continetta ora.
Some go like that to me. Oh, is your head off?
Adesso di una bustina. Per il viaggio.
Sì, grazie.
Anche? No, ma mi si lascia i capelli sporchi.
Wow.
Oh, they're like aubergines.
Yeah.
Questa è sporca. Carne.
Is it aubergine?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Yeah, it might be schnitz.
Not Koza, it's aubergine.
Yeah.
Aubergine.
Sì, questo. Non mi guardi.
Questo is the one. The coffee makes me giggle. It's like
Nada
alcohol.
di che schifezza. Melanzane.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
nice. Cause like we've never eaten before. Potato.
Pierre and Pino are currently giving us lots of food to take with us. Homemade. I think it's like breaded aubergine, other things, and tiramisu.
Oh, meat.
Oh, and the famous sheep cheese that's made here. Oh, that's very good. What's the word again?
From.
No, it's very nice.
Bellissimo.
The best cheese you could ever have.
We work from Google Translate.
So we're using good old Google Translate to communicate because there's no English and we're not very good at Italian. But we get
We've got a
that.
nice meal. Siamo molto felici.
All this food will help. Will see us through to Olbia back thanks to the boat in 3 days.
Grazie a voi per la vostra compagnia. Buon viaggio e se potete tornate a trovarci.
Houses to you for your company. Have a good trip, and if you can come back to visit us.
Oh, we will.
Yes.
My clothes look dirty, but I'm not dirty because we have a solar shower with us that we hang in the trees and have a shower in the evening.
Vestiti sempre nello sporco,
Wow.
nello sporco perché abbiamo una doccia solare con noi che ci appentiamo agli alberi e facciamo la doccia insieme.
I said I might look dirty, but I'm clean
Non preoccupate, va
because I
bene
have a
così.
solar shower.
And here is Papa. Papa.
Oh, during this bowl, some
I am now getting given some vino. How generous this family is.
Vecchio.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
Oh no, thanks. What's that?
This is going to be something disgusting.
Questo è alcol, grappa.
Oh, grappa.
Grappa sarda, fatta qui.
Keep your wall.
That keeps you warm. That's,
Questo è forte.
that's fire with
La sarda.
No, no.
È buona.
So it's salute, yeah?
Salute. Senti.
Salute. You sit.
And the ladies are filling the water bowls up for us.
Forte. Forte. Buono.
Well, tell them we'll stand to this little fill.
Yeah.
È uguale allo scorso.
Whisky, sì, no.
Whisky dallo scorso. Buono. Più o meno.
Warms you, yeah?
His son are coming to visit us for a week.
Dobbiamo tornare a Pisa perché mia mamma, cugina Zetta e il figlio di Chris vengono a trovarci per una settimana.
A Pisa.
A pizza.
Pisa, then down again. After Pisa, we cycle to Roma.
Dopo Pisa andiamo in bicicletta a Roma.
Visitare Roma.
I go see the Pope.
Scendete giù.
After Roma,
Napoli,
E poi Sicilia.
Sicilia, yeah.
we then head for Sicilia. Sicilia?
Abbiamo poi avuto per Sicilia.
Sicily.
Andate per la Sicilia. A scendere giù.
Con Turchia, più vicino.
After Sicily, we go to Bari, and then we get the ferry to Croatia. Dubrovnik.
Troppa acqua,
Dopo la Sicilia andiamo a Bari e poi prendiamo il traghetto per la Croazia Dubrovnik.
Per arrivare in Grecia, poi Grecia.
No, in
Ma dopo vanno in Grecia.
Greece.
Dopo in Grecia.
Greece and Turkey.
After Croatia, we go to Greece and then Turkey.
Dopo la Croazia
The best sheep cheese we've ever had.
e diciamo al mondo che questo è il formaggio di pecora che abbiamo mai.
Oh, the wine.
Yeah, best cheese and best wine.
Ci fate molta pubblicità. Babbo è contento per la pubblicità.
Dad is happy for the publicity.
We should have a quick photo. Yeah. Do you sell your sheep's milk or do you make sheep's cheese and sell that as well?
Vendi il latte di pecora o produci formaggio pecorino e lo vendi?
Yes, non la vedo.
No, latte danno su, versiamo il latte. Spiegami.
Diamo il latte subito all'industriale che ce lo paga poco meno di 60 centesimi al litro.
Give the immediately industrial milk that pays him just under 60 cents per litre.
Little.
Per noi facciamo solo le provviste di casa.
For us, we only do house supplies.
Per noi,
For yourself, yeah.
non diamo latte, come tutto il mondo.
So they just sell the milk.
Però non è...
Non è renominato, non è renominato.
Very interesting.
Molto interessante.
Mi spiega Willy, però non si costa su un di questo.
Però la spesa di produzione non arriva a coprire i costi che è pagato il latte.
But the production cost does not reach the cost you paid for milk.
Yeah, little.
Le materie prime qua in Sardegna sono troppo care perché c'è poca produzione.
The raw materials here in Sardinia are too expensive because there is little production.
Grazie. Arrivederci. Grazie.
Buon viaggio!
Ciao, ciao, grazie. Ciao. Great family. It's time to leave.
Day 7, we are cycling to a place called Bodiglias.
Yeah.
My best Italian accent.
Only 39 kilometres, 353 metres of elevation, so another tough day of cycling.
Really tough, but we're getting stronger.
Quick lunch stop, now we've made it to the top of one of these climbs.
Yeah,
And then we have boiled eggs,
boiled egg.
sultanas.
Yes, slow day today. A bit windy as well. There's a lot of rain last night, didn't we?
Quite dirty at the
I'll
moment.
say we're not the cleanest.
Bikes are filthy. Actually, the bikes are actually cleaner than they were because we had a downpour of rain last night. Never stopped, did it?
No, all night just rain. Just showing you my new travelling companion. It's been here for
A snail.
a few days, so it'll find itself in Italy.
Alright, yeah.
It's nice and cozy on there. Having a free lift.
When we leave Italy, make sure it's got its passport, its papers. Here we have another crazy barking dog, white dog protecting its sheep. Thankfully there's a fence in between us.
Another tough day in the saddle with really horrendous climbs.
And another example of how difficult it can be to wild camp in the mountainous areas, because you've just got sheer drops. You've got the road with a sheer cliff edge, so there's nowhere to actually camp, so it does take a while finding somewhere. Just trying to find somewhere to wild camp for the night. This is a common problem. See, this is a highway, crash barriers either side, but then sheer drops either side of the road, and then a lot of fences. So it's just trying to find a space where we can put the tent. And the day is getting on, you're getting more tired, and it's a bit of a pain sometimes. So something like down there, if we can flatten it off, we can't be going over the fence. As you can see, we're high up in the mountains. We've only got about another hour of daylight. We don't want to be going much further because it's just more mountains. So we finally found somewhere off the main road under the bridge. We've come down the little track just over there. Here we are for the night. It was just to the side of a quarry with a little fast flowing stream. So that's tonight's shower sorting. We've even got our very own little Christmas tree.
Here you can see the food that the family gave us this morning, so we could have fresh Italian food for our tea tonight. We've got their homemade sheep's cheese. It's from there. They've got 1,500 sheep. So the milk, obviously they made that themselves. This is a traditional, like popscoms actually, but Italian crisp bread. So we've got some nice fresh potatoes, and she put them all in her homemade olive oil. These are aubergines, battered, and this, she said when she translated that there's meat in there. So I don't know.
I think it's the other ones that are meat. I think they're aubergines.
They're meat, those ones.
That's what she, yeah.
Alright. And then the homemade cakes.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Really, really nice. So we're going to have a good feast tonight. Chris also got their homemade red wine.
So I'd have to do it. No cooking for me tonight. This is the finest Sardinian vino. I will now go and look for some firewood.
Day 8, making our way to Tempio. I said before that we had really bad days of climbing. Today was the ultimate,
the toughest. Not for distance, it was only 15 kilometres, but just think 15 kilometres with an elevation of nearly 500 metres. So that you can imagine, and of that 15 kilometres, it was probably 7 kilometres
never stopped climbing.
Was just pure mountain.
All the way into Tempio itself. When you thought you were there, home and dry, no! More climbing.
Yeah, that was a tough. That's the toughest day cycling on our tour, isn't it? It's tough. It was tougher than the Gotthard Pass in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So Sardinia, every respect to Sardinia. Big climbs today. Come on, Gabriella. Catch up. Are you there, Gabriella? It's like a snake pass. Going to a place called Tempio. on the bike. Bike's over 100 kilo at the moment. It's not too bad. As long as you just keep it at a nice pace. We're on a 15% climb. That means anything to any of you. Which is pretty steep. Well, there she is. Woohoo! We're here, top of the mountain. Woo.
Day 9, we cycled to a place called Cantonaria.
Cantonaria, yeah.
Cantonaria.
It's actually got another name as well, isn't it? But it's still a good day cycling. 39 kilometres, 350 metres of elevation, so not easy, not easy. This area was classed as the capital of Cork, as is Tempio as well, but everywhere on the island you see cork trees.
Yeah, just saw cork, yeah.
Never really thought about it, did we?
No.
But we came across a cork farm.
And all the fields, there's just cork all piled up.
Yeah. And
you went into...
Yeah, so we come across this, one of the cork farms, if you call it cork farms, and we met a guy called Tony.
Tony Balloni.
Tony was sorting through the cork and he kindly gave us a piece, which is now my chair. So this is where all the cork comes from. This is basically the bark off the trees. How good's that? Cork, just the same stuff you have in your bottle of wine. This is proper cork though, real cork. And there's a guy over there sorting through all his cork. He's obviously sorting it out into different qualities maybe, I don't know. Oh, grazie, look at that. Grazie, check. Let's give us that. Give us a piece. Then that makes a perfect little seat.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't actually, you don't really get, obviously.
Is it light?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't actually
really
get,
heavy.
Obviously moisture doesn't get through it, hence why I use it in a bottle of wine. So that will make my new chair.
Bon voyage.
Thank you. Then further down the road we saw a factory, so we cheekily went in and surprised the two guys that were sorting through the good and bad corks, and they let us have a little look round.
They're actually making the corks for bottles of wine.
Yeah, there was bags and bags full of corks. After I picked the cork apart in the end, obviously it comes through the machine and makes the cork. What's in the bottom?
Picking out the bad ones.
This morning at camp, through Sardinia, we've been collecting off the floor these reflectors because we thought they'd be really good to put on the backs of the bikes, on Chris's trailer, so we can be seen. So he is actually...
They fall off the crash barriers.
Crash barriers, when people hit the crash barriers to drop off. So what are you doing, Chris?
So I'm just melting holes in so we can tie wrap them to the bike. Got more than we need. I'm not putting all these on. So we can be seen at night more clearly.
Yeah, especially the trailer.
I'm just using obviously the stove and my tool for the changing your rear cassette. It's a multi-tool.
And
it melts through nicely.
I've made porridge, so I'm going to go back to my porridge.
Yeah, so the porridge has got a nice aroma of melted plastic. Let's do that. And eventually.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Day 10, that brings us back to where we started in Olbia.
Which was the easiest day of all. It was only 9 kilometres and 13 metres. It was downhill basically.
Yeah. It wasn't the easiest 2-week cycling tour we've had.
But we're glad we've done it. It's a fantastic
We love
place.
Sardinia, yeah.
We could highly recommend it for not just for cycling, just to come for your holidays. It's we've come at a time when it's out of season, so which is good for us as cycling because the roads are quieter.
Yeah, nobody around, no tourists.
But the good thing is we can wild camp every day because there is lots of campsites, isn't there, on the island? But they're all closed because it's out of season. But that's good for us because it's it doesn't cost us anything, does it?
No.
Had some terrible weather in Sardinia though. It was only a couple of weeks ago. There was 15 people killed in Sardinia by the flash floods. We've experienced a few of the floods, but not to that extent. There was bridges had collapsed.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
The worst hit place was actually here in Olbia, where cars were just submerged in water. But yeah, it's terrible that on an island which isn't particularly big, is it? 15 people killed. That was just 2 weeks ago. So we got here literally just after the worst of it was storm Cleopatra.
But you wouldn't know today because it's glorious sunshine today.
Really warm,
Boiling. Today's our last day here in Olbia, Sardinia. Tomorrow we head back over to mainland Italy.
To Livorno.
To Livorno.
There's the ferries just behind. That's where we'll be heading tomorrow.
Chris might even go back to Livorno for his favourite pizza.
Oh, definitely. And then we make our way back to Pisa. Where we're going to meet
up.
Back to Pisa. Where we're meeting my son Jacob and Gabriella's mum Stella.
Oh, so exciting.